system. Guys, this is our system, computer. Okay, we are working with our computer, right? What is the computer content? Already we know the hardware part, right? So we know the computer means, first of all, hardware. Computer contains CPU, RAM, disk, hard disk is there, BIOS is there, right? So many other components, USB drives are there, NIC cards are there, LAN cards are there, like this. This is, we have a hardware components. Okay. And what we do with this hardware component, whatever it is a i3 processor, i5 processor, or maybe it is a 16 GB RAM, whatever it is, what we are doing with the computer, we are running a applications, right? I'm currently using this paintbrush. This is my Microsoft Office, and this is my Google Chrome, right? So like this, I'm running some applications. I'm interacting with my PC, right? I'm creating files, I'm reading files, I'm creating a files, I'm reading files. Okay, I'm sending a files. Okay, I'm browsing internet. So I'm using my computer, using certain applications. Okay, I'm interacting with my computer using certain terminals, right? So that's what I'm trying to do is like, so user using your computer using a user interface. Okay, so who is between these two things is nothing but our operating system. Your operating system is interact with your hardware. So we don't know. So maybe if any CSC or IIT background people, so maybe they learn how to program a microcontroller or a microprocessor like 8085, 8086. Okay, right? So to program this one, you must have the background computer, how to give instruction directly to the processor, right? The assembly language, that kind of stuff you should know. But how many people know how to instruction in a binary code or hexadecimal code to a processor directly? We don't know, right? We are using Python, we are using Java application programming, or maybe we are directly accessing an applications, but we don't know how to code it. Even Java programmer or a Python programmer don't know how to run an instruction in a CPU. They don't know that. They don't know the core language, hardware language. Okay, so they know the high level language, C language, Java language, C++, Python, Ruby, Perl. All these things are high level languages. PHP.
Sir, it's not
These are high level.
visible.
Screen is not visible.
No,
It's
sir.
visible.
Yes,
It's
sir.
visual, sir.
It's
But
For
visible, sir.
me also, sir.
your
It's
data is
Yes,
visible,
visible.
sir.
Check internet.
Just start
Okay,
your
and
meeting.
Internet
sometimes it
connectivity.
happens. Check your internet always because of some internet kind of stuff. I will test mine. So sometimes my side also it can be a problem. It's around 90 MB because I connected with a wide connectivity. It's a good internet speed here. Okay. Thing is, where am I located? So I am interacting with my computer, but I don't know the how to give instruction to a CPU. Okay, so how it is possible to communicate with your computer based on a operating system. Your operating system knows how to communicate with the hardware, and also it will provide a user interface, and it will run your applications. Okay, it provide environment to run an applications. It provide a user base, that is operating system. I think I already shared a PPT of operating system. In case of you are missing, the document related I already sent. It's a good thing. I never expected that kind of output. I'm sharing here. Already given these PPTs, okay, but you don't know that it is an operating system. Okay. I have done mistake. Not a mistake. Okay. So what is an operating system? Operating system is a software which acts as an interface between the end user and computer hardware. A program or a software which acts interface between end user and computer hardware. Every computer must have at least one operating system to run other programs. For example, I have Windows operating system, so I can able to run Windows-based applications, right? So I can run web browser, I can run Paintbrush, I can run a playing game like that. It is, we can do it, right? I have an application is like a Chrome, Word, games, etc. Need to some environment which is will run and perform its task. OS help you to communicate with a computer without knowing how to speak computer's language. Okay, so computer language means it's a very low level language. It is okay, it's binary language, hexadecimal kind of understanding it is. So we don't know that one. We cannot put everything into that language, right? So what we can do, so then operating system help you to how to interact with your hardware. Hardware means all hardware type of devices. It's not possible for a user to use any computer or even a mobile phone without having an operating system. Okay. Operating system. Normally, we think our mobiles, like we are using a currently soft, means you can say the smart mobiles we are using, so it is contains an operating system. Now, guys, even for a normal featured mobile phones, also having a built-in operating system. So understand up to this point.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So as I written in a diagram like this, so operating system interact with the hardware. That part of operating system we call it as a kernel. Kernel. Operating system which interacts, the part of our system which interacts with your hardware, that we call it as a kernel. Operating system which running your applications, providing environment to run an applications, user interfaces, that part we call it as a shell. So simplest diagram actually. Okay guys, operating system, which is the part of operating system interact with the hardware, or quick.
Hello. Sir, you are not audible.
Okay. Now
Yes, sir.
can you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now,
Thank you. It is some app problem can be there. That's it is. Dollar general. Assigned the project. These people are turning it down. Okay. So what is kernel? Interact with the hardware. The kernel manages hardware management, disk management, process management, network management, memory, all these things, hardware related. Like you say, you are taking a printout. You connected a printer. Okay. You go to the print option. You given a print command. Okay. Now your system, we should understand where is the printer and where it is connected, how to give print format like this. So that will be done by kernel part of operating system, like printer management, disk management, audio management, video management, the display management kind of stuff. Okay. All these things by your kernel only. Network connectivity, all these things by your kernel only. What is shell? Shell provide a environment that we can able to interact with our system. It interact with the user, provide a user interface, and runs user applications. If you are belongs to Linux and Unix, generally this diagram will come up. If you are you say like you are belongs to this kernel and shell part, that is it comes under Linux and Unix learning. But guys, Windows or a Linux or Unix, whatsoever it is, this is a common thing. This is a common. Any operating system, mainly two parts. One is kernel part, another is a shell part. Born again shell, Bourne Shell. Okay, T shell, C shell, K shell, different type of shells are there. Okay, so where we are interacting with the system, that is our shell part of the system. I said about a user interface. We have a different type of user interfaces. Our Windows is graphical user interface. Windows operating system is basically graphical user interface. What happened to this? 14. Okay, graphical user interface. We can see everything in a window manner. See, this is a one picture manner. We can look at, we can interact with the PC directly with the mouse connectivity. We can draw. Okay, we can open any application by clicking it. So this is our graphical user interface. We can see the things and we can interact with it. Command line interface. Just for example, guys, I'm showing a command prompt. It does not mean it is a command line interface. It is look like this one. Okay. So you have a terminal, like you want to create a file, you have to create here only. You want to delete a file, you have to delete a file. You want to run a service, you have to run from here only. So it is a, like this is a command line interface. To do any task, you need an interface to interact with your application or a file or something, right? So if it is a command line interface, or it can be a command line interface, or it can be a graphical user interface. Of course, there is another interface is there called a text-based or terminal-based user interface. That is also there. But generally we don't use operating system. What we know better, that is we don't use terminal-based. Kernel-based are a prefix like it's not completely GUI and not required compulsory command. Okay, no need to do the so command. It can be there, but mostly it is using your keyboard things only, like a left arrow, right arrow, space bar, enter button. Like you can go to those options and you can modify things. Yes, these are the user interfaces. Guys, understand up to here?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. This is like a types of OSs. Means type of operating system. Type of operating system. First one is like a simple operating system. Another one is network operating system. Simple operating system is like a desktop operating system. Simple operating system is nothing but a desktop operating system. What is desktop operating system? Normally your Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10 okay, Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10, these are all simple operating system or a desktop operating systems. Next one is network operating system. Network operating systems are a server operating systems. Windows servers, Linux servers, Unix servers. These are all comes under server operating system. So, guys, one type of operating system is SOS and NOS. Another type of operating system based on a user and a task. Based on number of users and a task, types of operating systems defined like this. What it is? Single user, single task, single user, multitask, multi-user, multitask, these type of operating system. Single user, single task means only one user can able to log in at a time. Only one task we can able to perform. One user, one task at a time we can able to do it. So that is a single user, single task. Example, Microsoft DOS operating system. Single user multitask. Single user multitask. What is single user multitask? You can do multiple tasks, but you can log in with only one account at a time. For example, I have a machine, a computer is there, there is a users are there. 5 users, one computer, 5 users are there. But only one user can log in at a time. Once one user log in and he work completed, log out, and another user can able to log in. Simultaneously, 2, 3 users cannot log in either directly or through in network. Through network also they cannot able to log in. So basically, Windows operating systems are a single user multitasking operating system. Multi-user, multitask. Multi-user, multitask. Multi-user, multitask. Means one machine, multiple users, and multiple users can log into same system either directly like a physically or through network. Means you can see like a Linux server, there is a one Linux server. There's 10 users are there. 10 users, either they can log in directly through network, they can able to access. Exactly. Remember, I have a remote I want to access from here. I'm trying to recollect my memory. In my our network only, in my network only, it won't work for you. I'm trying to connect from here. Yeah, it is there. Okay. Should it? This is my Linux system, which is remotely located in the same network. I can able to access. Okay, so number of users. Okay, root user itself login 3 times. I think the one user 3 times. Login from this and login from this. That's this application becomes a cookie application. I connected with the SSH protocol. I'll show you that one again. This is a putty application. I connected my remote Linux machine with a SSH protocol. What is SSH protocol port number? 22. Remote accessing. Remote access. Okay. So multiple users and multiple tasks can run in a same machine. Okay. Multi-user multitasking. Best examples are Unix and Linux based operating systems. Okay, so that's why I said single user multitask. Multiple users means a system contains multiple users. User can log in from either through network or directly physically also they can log in. Okay. So type of operating system SOS, NYS. Simple operating system, network operating system. User and task, single user, single task, single user, multitask, multi-user, multitask. Okay. Not only these things, guys, also there is a different type of operating system. The real-time operating system, distributed operating system, distributed applications, distributed operating system, okay, mobile operating system, like that, a different type of operating systems are there. Okay, real-time operating system means, we are using a traditional operating system like a Linux operating system, Mac operating system, Windows operating system, Unix operating system. These are all operating systems are designed for a general purpose or a server purpose, whatsoever it is. So common operating system for a different type of hardware also. It support a different type of hardware. It is designed by some organization. We are all using it. Okay. But what is real-time operating system? Real-time operating system is built only for a specific task and specific hardware. Okay, for example, you have a satellite station, rocket launching is there. So what they will use, they use a real-time operating system. Means they build their own operating system for their purposes. For their purposes. Okay. So certain devices having their own built-in operating system. Not required to know, so every device must have our traditional operating system like Windows, Linux, Unix. It can be have their own built-in operating system. Build an operating system for their. So that is real time based on your hardware and your work. So we design a operating system. Mobile operating system. Mobile operating system, so many type of mobile operating system are there, but generally well-known operating system is Android and iOS, Symbian from Nokia, Tizen from Samsung, Blackberries from BlackBerry, and Windows Phone from Windows Microsoft. Okay. So guys, so better to know what is the difference between Android and iOS and Windows and Mac. So these are the different type of operating systems. This part I will tell again, but just I'm giving small information. That is, what is a desktop-based operating system? What is a server? What is the use of server operating system? What is the use of desktop-based operating system? Desktop operating system means our Windows operating means like a Windows 10, Windows 11, Windows 7, Windows 8. These are all desktop operating systems only. So simple operating system. What is the use of that one? You can run multiple type of applications. You can play games. You do data processing. You can program it. You can browse it. You can run multimedia things, and you can do video, audio kind of stuff. And it can be a client PC. It can be a client PC to a server or end user device type. So users, people use a computer, that is desktop based operating system computers only. Next, server operating systems. Server operating systems support server based applications. Also, it has a built-in features. Okay, so these are a server operating system by installing applications or built-in features. It become a Butler server like this: DHCP server, DNS server, VPN server, web server, file server, mail server, authentication server, proxy server, remote desktop server, deployment server, database server, like a different type of servers are available. Okay, this in the server operating system we do all. Okay, server operating system is usually by installing their built-in features or an applications. Built-in features are as server applications. It can able to provide certain services. So desktop operating system is differ from this operating system. Okay, in this part, this is the last one. So next we'll discuss about certain features in Windows 10 and a few points in Windows 10. Also, I will explain the last class if in case anybody except for anybody will fully understand it. Okay, as I think I thinking that is most of the people don't get it what we discussed last classes. Installing and configuring okay. Guys, are you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I am telling simple point in the operating system. Okay, Linux is a open source. What is meant by open source, guys? Lot of people confuse between open source and free. An application is there. Application is available freely. It does not mean it is a open source. What is a open source? So the source code of that application or an operating system is available to everyone. So anyone can take it and develop it and they can able to distribute it. That is a open source. What is open source? Any person.
Anyone can use it.
Anyone
Accessibility
can
to any person.
okay. Anyone can see the source code of that application operating system. Source code means how it is actually built. What is the internal files of that application? So they can able to check it. They can able to take it. They develop it. They can able to distribute as a new application on their own. Okay. So that is a we can say open source. Okay. Linux is not an operating system. Okay, Linux actually kernel. Linus Torvald is the person who built this Linux kernel from Unix. He took a part of Unix. He took a part of Unix and built a Linux kernel. And then he made it this Linux kernel open to everyone. So you can download this Linux kernel and build your own Linux operating system. Is a developed by Linus Torvald. That's why Linus Torvald took a Unix code, part of Unix code, and developed his own kernel that is called Linux. That's it is called a Linux. Linux. Okay. In Windows, Windows is not a open source. It is proprietary. Is Microsoft. Without Microsoft support, means without Microsoft permissions, you cannot alter anything. Operating system, Microsoft operating system, built and distributed by Microsoft only. It is built and distributed by Microsoft only. Coming to the Linux. So Linux kernel can be taken Linux kernel taken and developed and distributed. Okay, different flavors like Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat, Enterprise Linux, Debian, Fedora, Oracle Enterprise Linux. These are all distributed by different organizations. Okay. So operating system, Windows operating system, basically GUI based and less CLI usage. Whereas the Linux is powerful CLI and less use of powerful CLI. Okay. And Windows is not much case sensitive. Linux is case sensitive. Linux is case sensitive. You have to use a license key, license pay for a license is there. To use a Windows operating system, you must require a license. Mostly it is paid license only. Whereas the Linux-based operating system, it's free, not required to register, generally not required to put a money to get a license. Okay, GAPL, General Public License, GNU, not Unix. Okay. So basically, some people saying Linux is virus free. I don't believe, but still, there is a certain type of Windows-based viruses won't affect on a Linux because Windows viruses are mostly it is so automatic or orchestrated by kind of stuff. Okay, that's what it is. So normal virus like .exe file kind of stuff in Windows, it won't work in Linux. Of course, in a Windows operating system, we have desktop OS and server OS. In Linux, basically, it's this Linux are a server operating system, less use of desktop operating system. Okay, so Windows is a user friendly, even a normal user can able to start working it. Okay, and of course Linux need a compulsory a trained professional to work with a Linux machine. So Windows is a single user multitask. Linux is multi-user multitask. Last point also very important, guys. That is required more hardware footprint, required less hardware footprint. Okay, why it is required more hardware footprint? to run a Windows is GUI based, lot of applications, background applications, lot of things. Okay, the graphical information, everything has to be processed. It will take time. It consume more hardware resources. Okay, so Linux is CLI based, so it required a very less hardware footprint. Once again, what is the difference between Windows and Linux? So Windows is single user multitask, Linux is multi-user multitask. Windows required more hardware footprint, means more consumption of computer hardware, whereas a Linux less consumption of your hardware part. Windows, you have a desktop type of operating system and server-based operating system separately. Whereas Unix operating systems does not have a. So where are we? It is mostly server-based operating system less desktop utilization. So in Windows, you have to pay for get a license to use your operating system. When Linux-based operating system, generally they don't have that kind of stuff. Here pay for a license, here not required to pay for a license kind of stuff. Windows operating system is not about open
Excuse me, sir.
source, Linux is open source. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what is Kali Linux?
Kali Linux or a Blacktrack Linux is also a Linux based operating system, but already certain things are defined separately for hacking someone.
Okay, sir.
For security purpose, like either it is you can attack or maybe defend kind of stuff for testing purposes. Okay, so Linux is developed by different. So it is actually developed by Linus Torvald, but a lot of people taken Linux-based operating system. One of the example, of course, Black Tracker, Kali Linux, Scientific Linux, so many Linux types. Okay. So take a small break, guys. Take a big break.